Hello there. Joining me in the studio, I have Alex Tomic, the founder of Alea, and Dr. Eyal Loz, the Chief Product Officer of RubyPlay. Welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
So let's talk about putting employees first. Is this good for business, and what does it mean in practice? Whoever wishes to take it first.
So, look, I have to say that Alex here just won an award about being a top employer, and that's just really amazing. It's really quite inspirational. And I think that for me, really, when I look at my personal journey, I used to be more on the employee side, and then at some point I've moved more to the executive side and manager side, and I've always promised myself that as an employee, that when I'll have the power, I will do it different. I will do it in a way that would make it feel a lot more meaningful. And I think for us in the RubyPlay management, we really want RubyPlay to be a place where the employees can have a lot of self-growth, where really the whole company is a place for self-growth or for bettering yourself, and we really put a lot of effort around this as a company. And I think that what you get, and to quote Simon Sinek in the Infinite Game, when he talks about exactly the same concept, is that if you focus on that, it feels a little bit a roundabout way, because many companies put shareholders first, and then customers second, and then employees third. But if you actually put your employees first, it creates this focus, it creates this ownership, that as a byproduct of that, of people being really aligned and happy, you end up seeing amazing business results. You're seeing people going out of the way, really being aligned and feeling it's really their company, it's their place, and it really is their place to bring that kind of engagement, to bring that kind of retention with our customers. And I think that this is the kind of place that I've always wanted to work at, and that's the kind of place that we're building as a company.
And Alex, the same question for you.
So we were lucky enough to won several awards for best employer, best place to work. Last one being at the AGA, like two days ago. It's at the heart of our philosophy. It's not just a lip job. I think there's a reason for that. I co-founded the second Alea. Alea was founded in 2012 with my first business partner. It didn't end up very well. We had very different views. He was very focused on business, making money, and to be honest, we were not making money. At the moment, I started the new Alea with my new co-founder. We were focused on one thing, is having fun. Having fun together, as a group, play together. I just wanted to work with her, and then with the people who joined later. When we focused on having fun, we start making a tremendous amount of money. If you aim at money, you don't make money. If you aim at being a group of people who wants to, genuinely have fun together, you're gonna start having results. But for that, you need to put a framework where people are going to feel good in the place where they work. You're going to provide them. We have a gym, we have a hyperbolic chamber, we have ice baths, we have sauna, we have vegetarian food delivered every day, we have a bottle in glass water to avoid microplastics. We do a lot of things. We have these personal trainers coming every day. It's a tribe mentality, and it is another thing that's very important, is that we hire outside of the industry, because we believe that we have access to a bigger pool of people, and also we let people go. It means that's a very important point. You come at Alea, and let's say after 2 or 3 years you leave Alea. And that's perfectly fine. And you may come back or you may not come back. If you come back, let's say 2 years after, you have learned something in other companies and you're going to bring that back to Alea. If not, you kind of, and I use that term that I've heard from Eman, from Sigma, you become a kind of alumni. Okay, so you always going to be a kind of ambassador of the company. And the funny thing I didn't thought about before we start this interview is that we have one of our ex-employees that's working with you now, and that's thriving in your company. And sometimes I can be a little bit jealous about that because we've discovered that person and she was not in the industry. And on the other side, I'm so happy because I also could feel that she was reaching a glass roof in Alea, and she's striving more in RubyPlay than she was in Alea, you know? And that's where it's not just a leap job, it's really important. You think about the people first. And in that particular case, you see that some people are more happy in other companies than it were in yours, not because your company is than the other one, it's just the journey that they're going through, you know? And that's so important, especially because we're a very small industry. And at the end of the day, we buy and sell from each other. We make business together. And I'm sure that the reason why RubyPlay and Alea are such close partners is that there's something about that too, you know? It creates a bond, a human bond between us.
Alex, you mentioned tribe there rather than family. I'm wondering what the difference is between tribe and family.
So there's a very strong, important difference is that family is like a Games of Thrones, you know, it's ruled by blood. Not in a bad sense, like the Red Wedding.
Well, sometimes in a bad sense as well.
Yes, sometimes in the bad sense, true. Sometimes in the bad sense. But let's say if we just take the normal thing, we could say that the stupid brother wins over the smart cousin because he's higher in the blood hierarchy. You don't want that. What you want is a group that is ruled by meritocracy, by hierarchy and meritocracy, and that's what a tribe is. So there is no politics, it's meritocracy. You're gonna go up in the pyramids, but because you're doing a good job, not because you're the brother and not the cousin. So that's the difference between the tribe and the family. And a lot of companies like to say that they are a family. We are not a family. These people, they are their family. They have their wife and they have their kids and they have their parents, and this is more important as a link, and it's a different link than what they have within the company, within Alea. But we are a tribe. We spend most of the time together and we do a lot of things together and we share emotions together. So it is a tribe.
I think to add to that, I think first of all, to me, there's something quite disingenuous about that statement that I hear a lot, you know, in all industries. Not just like, you know, we are family, but then when you find that those companies go to these really, you know, big challenges, all of a sudden we are not a family. We're actually an employer, and I think that I totally connect to what Alex is saying. Like you don't really choose your family, but you choose your tribe. And to me, it's being a tribe. You know, we hunt together, we eat together. You know, there's this element, and there's also that movement that Alex described when we have, you know, top talent that come to us from other tribes and give to us all of those insights from those other tribes, and all of those kind of fluidity that you do have. And to me, it's like you don't assign yourself to one family and then to another family. There's something quite unrelated to reality. But when you're in tribe, you know, you have that connection, that you know, togetherness that you have, that you create, and it absolutely, you know, what you bring, the value that you bring makes a big difference to where you are and how much you can pull the tribe the right way. So.
Thank you both for your philosophical insights. So Alea's office is based here in Barcelona, very convenient. And RubyPlay doesn't have an office. Maybe you can both talk a bit about the benefits and the pitfalls of working from home versus working in an office.
You want to start?
So, okay. Now, this is something that we never agree on. So, all right. So, first of all, I have to start with the absolutely most honest statement that the science is quite clear on this. An office is better. There's something called the Allen curve. There were many studies were done in MITs. Even when new technologies started being introduced in the 90s, in the noughties, they repeated the same studies, and they found that even with technology being together, improve team results. It's quite clear if a team sits within 8 to 10 meters of each other, it's the best predictor for success of a team. So, I guess I just made your argument. So the thing is, though, I do believe, however, and I can see it for us as a company that's now it's quite large. You know, we are north of 200 people, so we're no longer a small company. Is that being a work from home forever company poses a huge challenge for management, but at the same time it gives huge benefits for the employees and all of those other elements that we have as a business. So to name a few, we have an access for a global talent pool. We have employees everywhere, from the Canary Islands to Australia, US, all over Europe. So that's really, you know, that's really amazing. And I know of employees we have that started their journey in being in large cities and now moved back to small villages on small islands and having amazing lifestyle on pretty high paychecks, but on very rural places. And at the same time, the challenge side is that then how do you create that kind of closeness and alignment? So we had to really think hard about that. So how do we still create that kind of interaction? So we do a few things. We spend a lot of time thinking on the virtual space and the experience of each employee. Whenever someone starts, we make sure that everyone turns up to a meeting to welcome them. We have regular update meetings. We have all of those virtual environments which make sure that we are really present there in the life of our employees. And the other things that we create regular meetups. So we have obviously in conferences like that, we try to bring people to meet, and on top of this, we run offsite. So in February, we're going to run a large offsite in a ski resort in Poland. We're going to bring not everybody, but we're going to bring almost half the company there to discuss a whole pile of things that we've been through. So we find that it really is a management challenge, and if you have the right mindset and you work with your management at all levels, all the way from top management to leads, and you create that awareness, then it can work. And for that, I say that the science shows that it is a really big challenge, but nevertheless, it's a challenge that you can overcome, and I feel that we have the results to show. I'm so jealous of your office, though. Like I've had such a great time visiting your office.
Thank you.
Such amazing offices.
Thanks. As Eyal said, and you have access to a bigger pool of talents when you have no offices, and that's what we do by recruiting outside of the iGaming industry to have access to a bigger pool of talents. But if you add to that the fact that you have no offices and that you can recruit basically anywhere in the world, it adds up. Now, on the other side, we have Spotify that is saying we don't believe that we don't treat our employees like childs, something like that. Some kind of provocative statement. It's not about treating people like childs. Like not trusting them. It's just human nature, and human nature shows, and there's been studies that has been done where they take a couple of people, they put them in a Zoom meeting, so remotely, and they have this brain scan. It's a light brain scan. It's not like this MRI machine, it's just something they put on your head. And they see, and they take the same people and they do in a real life meeting. Okay? And what they saw is that the zones of the brain that were related to emotions were not lit up when you had a Zoom call. Okay? I would also not recommend people doing online therapy, for example, because emotionally you're not connected to the people you are talking to when you are not in presential. So that's the first thing. It's also all the chit-chats that are going to happen in the office when they meet at the coffee machine and all this thing. And it's all the spirit that you create by having people living together. And if you have activities like going to the gym, etc., you're going to create something special. When we were at the award the other night, one of our employees that was sitting at the table, she came to me and she said, Alex, you have no idea how much I didn't want to come back to the office after COVID. And you guys built this office, and it's an amazing office, and she's coming to the office every day. She said, now I'm looking for coming to the office because I know I want to do the yoga session in the morning, I want to do the gym, I want to do the sauna, I want to do this, I want to see my colleagues, etc. So you have the pros and the cons in both. Personally, I remember when I started as a solo entrepreneur. I mean, I was an entrepreneur. We had a small company. We were maybe less than 10 people. My co-founder was in another city. We were all working remotely. It was in 2000, early 2000. I rented a small desk in the office of a friend of mine that had a IT company, like 70 people, just to be able to talk with my colleagues that were not working on the same project that me, but go to the coffee machine and being surrounded by other human beings, I could talk to them. If I would stay home with my box shot or with my pajamas, working from the place where I live, that's also a thing that's very important, it's the space. You have the living space and you have the working space, and your brain makes very, very strong difference about that. Working from my living space wasn't possible. I wouldn't be efficient, and I'm the founder. It's not like I'm on a payroll. I don't give a shit about the company. It's just when I'm home, I'm not efficient, and I don't have kids. If you have your family, if you have your kids, if you have your TV, your PlayStation, your bed right there, your food, this, that, you can't. For me, there is no way you're gonna be as efficient as you are in an office. And again, it's not about people or employees being a child. It's just human nature. It's how we're wired.
Wow, you're both so considerate of your employees. I'm sure lots of people will be writing to you after seeing this interview, dying to work for you. You talked a little bit about relations between staff members there. I'm wondering how much the vision of the company is influenced by the environment, whether that be in a remote working space or from the office. Does it impact the vision for the company?
You want to take that one first, or?
No, maybe you
Okay.
you can start.
In Alea, it's quite clear because a lot of people are asking us, are you doing iGaming or are you in the health business? Because every employee has a whoop, the one that were at the beginning.
All the friends as well.
and not only employees, but we provide it to our partners also. Or they have a UA ring, and then we have this common, the application group, when we have a group, we can all check our stats, okay? And then we have a WhatsApp group where we have challenges, like no coffee after midday, last meal 4 hours before you go to bed, no alcohol during 1 week, at least 10,000 steps, at least 8 hours sleep. I mean, we do ice baths, sauna. We do many of these challenges. They're tracked by a biohacker, which is called Erwin Sozea. It's a French guy, and he gives us the data about that. So we are very focused on health because we believe that there's no way you can perform or put it another way, be happy, okay, if you're not healthy. And there's and the base. Before we used to say there's 3 pillars. There's the diet, there's exercise, and there's sleep. And now we know that it's a foundation and 2 pillars. And the foundation is sleep. You can have the best diet, you can exercise. If you don't sleep correctly, is not going to work. And there's a study that has been done where you have a manager that has slept only 5 hours, so they take this poor guy and they make him sleep just 5 hours and they put him in a meeting and they film, okay? And there's one marker that's called self-expression, okay? It's how people are going to express themselves, talk about their ideas. We talk, it's creativity, okay? First, what they notice, there's a lack of eye contact with the manager and between the other people. So basically, instead of having this kind of conversation, they're like, they're looking down, they're trying to avoid eye contact because they're trying to avoid the grumpiness of the manager. The manager is grumpy. First, he's grumpy and he's cognitively impaired. So he's emotionally unstable and cognitively impaired. And then he cannot process ideas properly. So what's going to happen? When someone comes with a creative idea that can be discussed, maybe it's a bad idea, or maybe it needs to be challenged and reoriented and worked around. The guy just said, it's a shitty idea. Why are you coming up with all this idea? We need to go straight to the point and look at the ROI and blah, 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 and fucking nah. Okay, and that's how the meeting's going to end. One time is going to do that, and then the other one are going to see it, and nobody's going to talk. Okay, so this experiment has been repeated over and over again, and always ends up miserably. But what are we trying to do? The first thing is have people sleep enough, because we know that if they're asleep, I know it for myself very well. I forgot to talk about alcohol before, because it's the biggest sleep disruptor. First comes alcohol, then comes caffeine, and then comes food too close to bedtime, and stress, of course. So we try to provide them all the tools so they sleep better. If they sleep better, they're going to think better and they're going to feel emotionally better. And that is the most important thing. And we see, it's very interesting, when we look at our data, it takes weeks, it takes months, but slowly it's improving. All the data are improving slowly, for all the group, because they're getting self-aware.
Eyal, would you like to add anything to that?
I love the ASBAS,
we did it the other day together.
Yes, so, that was pretty
and
amazing.
you stayed 8 minutes for your first time.
Well, I had Jordi, the CEO of Alea, he went first.
8 minutes, 8 seconds, 8 milliseconds. At 8 degrees.
Yes, at 8 degrees. But honestly, Jordi went first, and him, seeing that he can do it, because I put my hand first into the water, I'm thinking that this is insane. What did I get myself into? Then Jordi went first, and he did the 5 minutes, and I'm thinking, I have to beat 5 minutes. But so talking about our vision as a company, so we ask ourselves that question as a company, what's our vision? And we believe that the world problems can be solved playing games. So we really think that. And then all of a sudden, thinking that you want to be successful as a business seems like really easy. If you can solve the world problems with games, surely you can solve problems in the industry with games. So that's kind of where we are. But I think not to dwell too much on that, is that we feel that what we do together, and then how what we do in part of our offsites as well, is that we play games. We play the games that we make. We think about the games. We think about how playing those games, those gaming experiences can impact and solve the business needs of our customers. I think we started new traditions in our offsite. We call it the scavenger hunt, and it's each team makes a scavenger hunt for another team, and we mix it up, and it goes really crazy. I'm kind of wondering what will happen in Poland in sub-zero ski resort degrees. What kind of scavenger hunts will come up? But it's that kind of vibe that you create with that vision, and then, of course, we translate it also to actual things that we do, developing that velocity, developing and actual tools, developing actual products that go somewhere. But that kind of a fun that's what we do. We have fun. We're making things that people are supposed to be enjoying, interacting with. And I think that for us is really where we see it's all coming together. We want to have fun together as a tribe. When we meet with everything that we do. So, yeah.
Alex, Eyal, I feel we could stay here talking about this all day. Thank you both so much for your insights, beneficial both for business and for life. Thank you for coming to see me at the studio.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.